Starborn Café by Miss Yuki 1990. Chapter 19. The Starborn. Hadovan woke up calm and rested. Awareness was slow to come, and a lazy smile built at his kiss-abused lips. His lower back ached, but it wasn't unbearable. The pain would be gone once he took a shower. He sighed and slowly opened his eyes. The morning sun broke through the little gaps in the curtains, and its rays played upon the golden floor of Thor's room. Hadovan slowly took a seat and looked around when he realized Thor wasn't with him. He shivered when a wave of warmth passed over him, and a feeling of reassurance touched his heart. He smiled and stood up, shivered because of the chill of the early morning. He tilted his head to the side when he found a white chest beside the wardrobe in the room with a small note on it. He walked over to it and took the note.
I went to talk with Father. Join us in the dining room. What is in the chest? Love, Thor.
Hadovan smiled, kneeled, placed the note on the floor, and opened the chest, only to gasp! The robes inside the chest were white and gold. There was a smaller box in it, and once he opened it, he found a golden hairpiece. It had old runic letters carved into it, and its edges were decorated with intricate designs. He took it all in his arms and walked back over to the bed. A shiver of magic passed over his body, cleaning him up. He felt too excited and energized to bother with a bath. He couldn't wait to see Thor. With a small smile, Hadovan started to dress. He was sure it would suit him perfectly.
I do hope he will like the robes I prepared for him,
Frigga spoke worriedly. Odin smiled lovingly at his wife while Thor let go of that booming laugh of his.
Whether not, mother, I can feel his joy from here,
Thor said, and his parents looked at him in surprise.
Your bond is already that strong?
Odin asked, and Thor nodded.
Yes, Father. I have no doubt that with more time we will be able to communicate with our minds alone.
Frigga nodded, and Thor hummed.
You have found a powerful mate, son, he said. His strength shall be your strength. I have no doubt that together you shall be able to face any foe.
Thor nodded and looked towards the door when they opened. His eyes widened, Frigga gasped, and Odin raised an eyebrow. Hadovan walked in, and he looked like a true vision. White leggings were tucked into knee-high brown boots with golden calf and knee shields. The golden tunic fit Ben's torso like a second skin, and it was cut just above his thighs, so it danced between his legs with every move he made. The sleeves of his shirt were tucked into golden gauntlets, and his elegant long-fingered hands were accented by the golden pointed ending of the gauntlets, which ended just over his middle fingers. The high collar of the tunic accented Ben's neckline, and the raven tresses were pulled into a ponytail on top of his head, with the golden hairpiece, the locks falling down to above his behind. It shivered in the morning sun like onyx. Messy bangs fell into Ben's face, accenting enchanting, glowing emerald orbs.
Good morning,
he spoke as he all but glided over to them, not making a sound as he walked. I hope you all slept well. He bowed his head at the king and queen once he stopped in front of them.
You look beautiful,
Thor whispered before anyone could say anything. Thank you. Hadovan smiled at his chosen. These robes are absolutely stunning.
The colors of Asgard suit you, Hadovan,
Odin complimented, and Frigga nodded her head excitedly.
I thought they would suit you, but I did not expect this. You look wonderful, my dear. I cannot wait to have some more clothes made for you.
She clapped her hands happily, and Hadovan gifted her with a small smile. There is no need for that, really. I don't want to bother you.
You could never bother me, my sweet,
Frigga assured Ven.
Now come, I am sure you must be hungry. Breakfast is waiting for us already.
Hadovan smiled, and Thor offered him his elbow, still not able to take his eyes off of Hadovan. Hadovan placed his hand under his bondet's arm and chuckled. He could feel Thor's excitement and wonder. The god of thunder thought that Hadovan could not get any more beautiful than he already was. He could not believe that he was wrong. Will the Warriors 3 join us? Hadovan asked to distract himself from Thor's feelings of desire.
They are already waiting for us,
Thor said, and they entered the dining room. Good morning! Thundra called over to them and then whistled. Mage Sigurdsson, you look absolutely stunning! Hadovan chuckled as they took their seats at the table, with him sitting to Thor's left. Thank you, Fandral, and I think I asked you to call me Hadovan or Ven.
Fandral's memory is a bit faulty,
Hogan drawled, and the golden airman hissed at his friend. Hadovan chuckled and exchanged a glance with Thor. If they were perfectly honest, they missed their friends from Earth already. They were also worried. Yesterday they were told by Frigga that there was no sign of Loki or the Chitauri, which could only mean that the crazed man was regrouping and getting ready to attack Earth.
You all seem worried.
Volstagg said, and Thor and Hadaven looked at him at the same time with matching expressions of worry.
We are!
They spoke only to look at each other in wonder. A moment later, Thor chuckled and Hadaven shook his head with a small upturn of his lips.
Our bond is stronger than I thought.
Then spoke.
I thought so as well. Your magic is also calmer.
Thor said, and Hadaven nodded.
I don't feel endangered by it anymore. Endangered by your own magic?
Hogan asked.
I had problems controlling it, but I'm not afraid of that anymore. Now that I can share it with Thor, the pressure should lessen considerably.
Hadaven explained.
That is good, Frigga said, but I hope you both know that you cannot stay parted for long amounts of time until the bond is fully established.
Hadaven and Thor nodded in understanding.
We know that, Mother. I do not plan to let Hadaven out of my sight anytime soon. I am afraid that I learned a difficult lesson when Loki took him.
Thor bowed his head a little with a frown marring his striking features. He looked up when Hadaven placed his hand on his and squeezed reassuringly.
I made a mistake as well. It wasn't your fault. And besides, I'm all right. Don't worry so much.
Hadaven spoke comfortingly.
How could I not worry?
Thor asked, a frown marring his handsome features and his eyes shadowed with pain.
And we're on a day later. You would not be with us now.
Thor said, and Hadaven sighed.
Do you think so little of me? I would have fought to survive until you found me, Thor. Trust me, I don't want to leave you. Do you doubt me?
Thor almost let go of a pained whine at Hadaven's question.
I do not doubt you, Svas,
he spoke.
And I know you are strong. I know also that you cannot be overpowered by your own magic anymore, and that gives me comfort.
Hadaven smiled and tilted his head to the side.
Then stop torturing yourself with questions of what could have been. I'm here, alive and well. Besides, we have a war to fight. Loki will not give up. Earth is in danger. We must prepare.
Hadaven is right, Odin said. I know that Midgard has mighty guardians, but I also know that they might not be enough.
The Avengers are not the only ones who will fight for Earth when Loki attacks.
Hadaven spoke. Those who have not seen this side of him shivered slightly when his voice came out stronger than usual and his eyes darkened to a strong jade color.
There are others?
Hogan asked, and Hadaven nodded.
There are wizards and other fighters, creatures of many races. Earth is our home. We will fight for it when the need arises. Then we'll need someone to unite them,
Thor said.
And who better to do that than the one who granted all of them sanctuary when they came looking for it?
All of them stood up and turned to look at the woman that spoke up.
Verdandi! I hadn't seen you in years!
Hadaven rushed over to hug the Norn. Verdandi smiled at him and kissed his cheek once they parted.
I am happy to see you well, my spring,
Verdandi said, and lovingly caressed Hadaven's cheeks with a loving touch.
You have grown stronger since we last met face to face. I congratulate you on your bonding, young prince. May your bond grow ever stronger, and may your love for each other be as strong as the roots of Yggdrasil.
Thank you,
Thor said, and Hadaven walked over to him.
You didn't come to exchange pleasantries, though.
Hadaven rolled his eyes at the slight feeling of jealousy he felt coming to Thor.
Verdandi giggled and shook her head.
No, I didn't come for that.
You said they would need someone to unite them,
Odin said, and Verdandi nodded.
Yes.
She looked at Hadaven.
You, young prince, will be the one to do so.
Hadaven frowned.
I don't have the power to unite all the people of Earth. Yes, I offered sanctuary to many and watched over them for years, but I doubt they would answer my call.
You still underestimate yourself, sweetness.
And Hadaven looked at the woman when she appeared. She smiled at him and stood beside her sister.
Is he friends with all the Norns?
Fandral muttered to Hogan and Volstagg, and the two rolled their eyes at him.
You have more power than you might think. Many know of you one way or another, and the wizarding world still sees you as the savior you are. When you call to arms, they will answer.
Urd spoke wisely, and Hadaven frowned while Thor looked at him.
Hadaven,
murmured the god of thunder, and Hadaven spared him a glance.
I led an army a long time ago, but it was an army of a few hundreds of wizards. Would I really be able to lead an army of millions? Would they answer my call to bombs?
You are the guardian of the sanctuary,
Urd spoke up.
You are the Starborn. When you call, they will answer.
The Starborn? Volstagg grunted, and Urdiverdandi looked at him.
Yes, the one chosen by the powers that be to unite everyone once the greatest evil threatens Midgard.
Hadaven's eyes widened, and he paled.
What is it?
Thor asked and grasped Hadaven's elbows in his hand. Hadaven bowed his head as not to look at Thor and have him see the doubt in his eyes. He forgot that Thor could feel it all over their bod.
Please, excuse us,
Thor said.
We shall come to see you later. There is much we have yet to discuss.
Thor led Hadaven into the gardens of Asgard and over to a golden fountain. He took a seat and pulled Hadaven beside him.
Hadaven, speak to me. I could feel your doubt. I could feel that you are troubled.
Would I be able to do that? Hadaven whispered and looked at Thor. Would I be able to lead so many?
Then,
Thor sighed and cupped Hadaven's face within warm calloused hands.
If there is anyone who would be able to unite the world, it is you. You are strong, and you have something in you that draws people to you. They will follow you to the ends of the world. Whoever meets you comes to love you almost instantly, which proposes a problem to me.
Thor grumbled, and Hadaven breathed a laugh. You know there is no need for you to be jealous. Hadaven covered Thor's hand that was on his cheek with his own smaller one. I belong to you and you alone. Thor smiled and pulled Hadaven closer to lay a chaste kiss on succulent lips.
I know that, Midleaf,
Thor muttered against Hadaven's lips.
Forgive me, I am merely possessive of you.
You're lucky your possessiveness doesn't bother me. I just want you to remember that I can take care of myself, Hadaven warned, and Thor snorted.
That will be difficult, for I will always remember that you fought and suffered greatly. I wish to protect you from everything. I wish to make sure you never need to fight again, because I will be there to protect you.
Hadaven sighed and looked at Thor with sadness in his eyes. I've only ever known that love. Ever since I was a child, I fought to survive. In the cafe, I found peace. I was saving people without fighting and spilling blood. I should have known it was not meant to last. His eyes darkened and he looked at his hands. I've only ever been a warrior.
Never call yourself a monster again.
Thor spoke darkly, and Hadaven looked at him with wide eyes. Thor never spoke to him like that. He never spoke to him in that town.
You are not a monster. You are the most beautiful, caring, loving man I have ever met. Your life was not an easy one. You were forced to fight and survive. I swear to do all that is in my power to stop that.
A small smile tugged on Hadaven's lips. He sighed and leaned against Thor's side. The god of thunder wrapped his arms around Ven and kissed the crown of his head. When you speak like that, I actually believe it could happen.
Last night I said that there is no turning back anymore.
Thor spoke, his tone that of utter certainty.
We are bonded now. I am yours as much as you are mine. We shall build our future together. We shall face any foe that tries to take it from us, and we shall stand victorious. I shall do everything that is in my power to gift you with the peace you yearn for. That shall be my wedding gift to you.
Hadaven pushed back and looked up at Thor with wide eyes. Wedding gift? Thor chuckled and shrugged.
Mother said she would like to plan something for us. Nothing not too big and not any time soon. Once we are ready, she would like for us to celebrate our union in a proper way.
Hadaven laughed quietly and shook his head. I should have known. I have no doubt that Ed and Verdandi will be overjoyed.
Our friends from Midgard and your family as well.
Thor smirked, and Hadaven yelped when he suddenly found himself straddling Thor's lap.
Oh! What can I do to make you see that you were chosen for a reason?
Thor whispered, and Hadaven's eyes widened.
What can I do to make you see that you are loved by so many, and that you are the only one people will follow? Whether they know you personally, or over someone who met you, people will listen to you and follow you because you, my beautiful husband, are the very personification of all that is good and strong and righteous.
Hadaven blushed and bowed his head, well aware that Thor could now feel every single doubtful question plaguing Ven's mind. But Hadaven had been hiding his demons for such a long time that it had turned into a habit. Having someone who knew him so deeply, who knew his very soul, was both a relief and a slight shock to the raven-haired wizard. While he had many friends, not one of them knew the extent of Hadaven's doubts, the pain he carried in his heart since his early years. Thor now knew everything there was to know about Hadaven, just like the wizard now knew Thor to his very depths. He could feel the extent of Thor's love towards him. Hadoven could feel Thor's faith in him, his adoration and devotion, and it left Hadoven breathless and yearning for the promising comfort of Thor's love and warmth.
What can I do to make you believe that you are absolutely perfect just the way you are, with your doubts and worry and compassion and understanding and everything that makes you my perfect dark alpha?
Hadoven rested his forehead against Thor's. He wrapped his arms around Thor's shoulders and smiled when he felt Thor's hands on his waist.
You can tell me you love me,
Hadoven whispered.
You can tell me you'll try to survive whatever is in front of us. You can promise me that when I fall, when I stumble, I will always find the strength to stand up again in you. And I can promise you the same.
Hadoven raised his head and looked in Thor's eyes, raising minutely trembling hands to cup the bearded face within them.
I can swear on my life and honor that I will never betray you, that I'll always love you. Even when we fight, even when we don't agree on something, I can only promise that I will never stop loving you. I will forever do my very best to always, always come back to you.
Thor swallowed with slight difficulties.
Then, I promise to do so as well,
he whispered, and Hadoven smiled. He kissed Thor lovingly, and then hugged him tightly, burying his face at Thor's neck.
That will be more than enough,
Ben whispered, and his smile grew bigger when Thor's hug tightened.
That will be more than enough.
I cannot send my whole army to Midgard,
Odin said. He, Thor, Hadoven, and the warrior 3 were in the throne room. They tried to devise a strategy, but it appeared to be slightly more difficult than they thought it would be.
Loki is quite unpredictable. He could split his army and attack Asgard again. We need to be ready for anything.
We understand that, Father,
Thor answered.
We also know that Midgard is not as weak as Loki thinks it is. The people of Midgard will fight for their planet, and will not allow it to be taken from them.
Thor is right, Hadoven said. When it comes to it, the people of Earth will unite and fight. I don't have a doubt about it.
Odin nodded. Then you must return to Midgard. You must prepare.
We wish to go with them, Fandral said, and Hogun and Volstagg nodded. We fought with Thor in many battles. Siv is on Midgard as well. We wish to join and help with their fight.
Very well, Odin spoke. I am glad you volunteered. We shall prepare everything for you. You must return to Midgard as soon as possible.
Thor smiled at his friends, while Hadoven nodded at them.
Thank you. You don't need to risk your lives for my world, he said. You are Thor's bonded,
Hogun said.
Thor is our friend, which makes you our friend as well. You are a brave warrior, and it will be an honor to fight beside you and Thor when the time comes.
Fandral whistled lowly. You know what? I think that is the most you've said since I've known you, he said, and Hogun shot him a dark glare. Fandral grinned at him and clapped his hands. Now, what say you? We go and get ready. This could be fun, you never know. Hadoven chuckled. Thor and Volstagg laughed, while Odin and Hogun merely sighed.
Strange man,
Hadoven muttered, and Thor laughed boomingly.
You have no idea, love, you have no idea.
A pained scream broke the peace of the vast universe. Thousands of whispers echoed in the deep, so very silent that it was hard to hear them without actually knowing they were there. Pain-filled green eyes opened and looked at the smothering darkness.
Brother, please.
A scream left his lips and he curled into himself. You have failed us yet again, Loki. Why do you resist us? We are only trying to give you what you've always wanted.
No!
He screamed and covered his bleeding ears with his hands.
I never wanted this. I never wanted to hurt him. I wanted him to acknowledge me.
You always wanted to be better than him.
No!
You always wanted to be the only son, the heir, the king of Asgard.
No, I never wanted it. I wanted... You will obey!
He screamed in pain. He screamed until his throat was raw and his mind went dark. Once he stopped screaming, he just lay there, hoping against hope that it would all end soon. You are lucky we still have use of you. You shall lead our army to Midgard. You shall destroy it, and everything on it. He had not the strength to fight any more. He all but blessed the quiet that settled over his mind. Once green eyes opened, glowing blue, and Loki stood up slowly. His clothes changed, his wounds healed, and a moment later he was back to his full strength.
As you wish.
He spoke strongly, and a wave of darkness and sorrow spread through the universe.
The darkness will soon descend. But unbeknownst to them, as an answer to the darkness, another force will rise. A force that they are not counting on, but one they should fear. The Starborn. This story is one of a series. The sequel is called The Rise of Starborn. You can find it on Archive of Our Own if you so wish. End of Starborn Café by Miss Yuki 1990. If you enjoyed this recording or the content, feel free to leave a comment below or a review at the original story from the link in the descriptions. Thank you for listening.